Let's get straight into it. If you've been battling stubborn soil-borne fungal diseases like early blight, damping off, root rot, powdery mildew, or even that strange slow decline in plant vigor that you can't fully explain, there's a natural, affordable soil amendment that many serious gardeners still overlook: plain yellow cornmeal. Not corn gluten meal, not chemically enhanced products, but simple ground corn. And this isn't some internet myth or garden folklore. It works because of biology. Specifically, how cornmeal triggers beneficial fungi such as Trichoderma species in the soil, which actively combat harmful fungal pathogens. Once you understand how it works and how to apply it correctly, cornmeal becomes one of the most valuable disease prevention tools in your soil care arsenal. The main reason cornmeal is effective is not because it kills harmful fungi directly, but because it creates powerful competition in the soil. Cornmeal naturally hosts beneficial fungi, especially Trichoderma harzianum, which multiply when introduced into moist, organic-rich environments. These beneficial fungi then colonize the root zone, feeding on the same food sources that pathogenic fungi rely on. Instead of harmful fungi winning territory and attacking roots or weakening plant immunity, Trichoderma outcompetes them, forming a protective microbial shield. In addition to this microbial warfare, cornmeal contributes trace nutrients that stimulate overall biological activity. A more active soil food web increases nutrient availability and strengthens plant resilience. When soil biology is thriving, fungal diseases become the exception, not the rule. That's why experienced gardeners who use cornmeal often talk less about disease treatment and more about disease prevention through living soil. Dry broadcasting is the easiest method and works well for raised beds, open soil, and around fruit trees. Use 2 cups of fine ground yellow cornmeal per square meter of soil, which translates to roughly 2 pounds per 100 square feet. Sprinkle it lightly across the surface and gently rake it into the top 1 to 2 inches of soil. Applying before predicted rainfall or watering it in ensures activation, because moisture is essential for microbial awakening. For example, if you've had tomato blight problems in past seasons, lightly raking cornmeal into the top layer before transplanting seedlings helps prevent pathogens from colonizing new roots. In perennial beds, especially those prone to black spot or powdery mildew on roses, using cornmeal at the start of spring creates a biological buffer before fungal outbreaks appear. When you need faster action or more targeted fungal suppression, a cornmeal tea offers a liquid delivery mechanism rich with activated beneficial microbes. To make cornmeal tea, use 1 cup of cornmeal per 4 liters of non-chlorinated water. Let it soak for 24 hours, stirring several times during the process to encourage microbial release. After steeping, strain out the solids to prevent clogging your sprayer or watering can. Apply this tea as a soil drench around the root zones of vulnerable plants, especially seedlings, cucumbers, peppers, and squash, which are often victims of damping off and root rot in cool, wet conditions. Applying tea every 2 weeks during disease-prone periods helps maintain an active colony of protective microbes. Some gardeners also lightly mist the tea onto foliage as a preventative against powdery mildew, though it works best as a soil-based defense rather than a surface fungicide. Seedlings are highly vulnerable to damping off, especially in humid environments or, when things get a little overwatered. By blending 1 tablespoon of fine cornmeal per liter of seed starting mix, you actually encourage a living defense system in the soil from day 1. The cornmeal doesn't interfere with germination but instead creates a supportive microenvironment that discourages moisture-related fungal attacks on young stems and roots. Similarly, before transplanting, dusting the planting hole with a teaspoon of cornmeal or mixing a bit into the backfill ensures early colonization of the rhizosphere by beneficial fungi. If you add cornmeal during the composting process, it works as a fungal activator, helping develop a balanced compost that includes both bacterial and fungal populations. So just add 1 cup of cornmeal per 10 liters of compost material layer during stacking. This is especially useful when using compost later for perennial beds, shrubs, fruit trees, and crops that prefer fungal-dominant soils such as tomatoes, peppers, berries, and root crops. When compost is applied to your garden later, it carries with it an already thriving colony of beneficial fungi that continue defending plant roots. Cornmeal is a living systems amplifier, not a magic eraser that reverses severe fungal infestations overnight. It's most effective when used before there's any visible infection, or at those very early signs of stress. If a plant is already heavily infected with late blight or root rot, cornmeal alone just can't reverse the damage. However, it can help stop further spread, protect your nearby plants, and rebuild soil health for future resilience. In highly compacted or heavily degraded soils, with little organic matter, results will definitely be slower, which is why pairing cornmeal with compost and mulching really increases its effectiveness. Most gardeners start noticing stronger plant growth, cleaner foliage, and less fungal pressure within 1 to 2 growing cycles. If your beds are consistently struggling with fungal disease, go ahead and apply cornmeal early in the season, then again mid-season, and once more after harvest to support winter soil biology. Just observe plant vigor, root health, and how often disease shows up. If results are strong, keep up those seasonal applications. If improvement feels slow, increase your compost content, and work on keeping moisture consistent, since beneficial fungi really do need stable, organic rich habitats. Unlike chemical fungicides that often wipe out both harmful and beneficial microbes, leaving the soil defenseless in the long run, cornmeal focuses on building biological resilience. It doesn't poison disease, it crowds it out, and this is huge for gardeners aiming for long-term productivity, especially in raised beds and no-dig systems where the health of your soil decides the success of every planting season. Cornmeal is honestly one of the most underutilized yet biologically intelligent fungal control methods available to home gardeners. It fits perfectly with regenerative growing, builds long-term resilience, and creates conditions where disease just has a tough time taking hold. When you use it consistently with good composting, mulching, and proper watering practices, it can really transform your garden from reactive firefighting into proactive plant protection. If this guide helped you understand how to use cornmeal as a true fungal defense strategy and soil health builder, don't leave without subscribing. Here on SIOL Engineer, we don't chase trends, we refine natural systems that deliver consistent, long-term growth power. Go ahead and share this video with gardeners who constantly struggle with fungal issues. Their soil might just be one cornmeal application away from recovery. Stay rooted, stay curious, and let the soil do the talking.